Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Steve Callaway. I think you all know that. That's why you're here. And you're also here to see the young lady way over there to the left of the screen, to my right, of course. And that's Angelina Jordan. And you've all probably seen this masterful work of art called It's a Man's World that Angelina performed at this particular event. So let us watch. This is kind of an induction into the Diamond Classic Hall of Fame, okay? So that's going right, as soon as we're done with this video, that's going right in there, okay? So if you ever want to find it again, I got a playlist called Diamond Classics. You'll be able to find it there, along with a bunch of the other well-known, just awesome performances that Angelina's had over the years. So let's go ahead and watch this. I'm assuming that it's probably not going to go to full screen, but that's where we're going to end up before I start the video. There we go. Okay, now we can start. Okay, just wanted to get it back to somewhere in the video so we can take a look at Angelina there. Yeah, I'm sure you guys all have seen this video before probably. And if you haven't, just a quick couple of things. Near the end there, you'll see the conductor was he looks at Angelina while he's conducting and he shakes his head. You can't believe it, right? Those last couple of big notes. It was not the last one, but the one before that. And if you look around at the other band members, you can see them in various stages of disbelief, awe. Surprised some of them didn't forget their spots. But yeah, it's the nature of playing with somebody like this. Angelina, she brings tears to my eyes. She did on this one. I've seen this I don't know how many times. Cry every time. Why? It's not sadness. It's not anything like that. It's tears of joy is all I can say, because it's like if to me it feels like I'm in the presence of a person, being Angelina Jordan, who is such a nice, kind, and loving person, on top of the fact that she's extremely gifted and talented in the musical arena. And it gives me hope for the world that human beings can be better to each other. Why do we have wars? I won't get into a bunch of the other stuff, but, as Reginald Denny said, why can't we all just get along? Yeah, why not? Why can't we? Angelina at her concert says the world needs more love, and it needs you need to be kind to one another. I love the message. It's how can you dispute that? You can't. In our everyday lives, we run into people who are. I guess I'll put this down on a smaller screen so you can see me while I'm ranting and raving and carrying on over here. Where is my picture? There it is. Put this down here. There we go. So, why? Why? How does it change? How has change come into being? Well, a couple things, I think. One thing is what Angelina's doing is trying to consistently spread that message. I think that, how do we learn? We learn through repetition, right? So if you hear the same thing over and over again, eventually you're going to just accept it as being true. And why not? That's not a bad thing. I mean, I told this story before, you guys. Some of you have probably heard it. Some of you may not have heard it. And it's kind of a stupid story, but it drives home the point. How do you learn through repetition, right? Physical skills you learn, and then they become muscular memory. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. But for mental skills, memory and so on, when I was in 8th grade, I got in trouble. I know, hard to believe that Steve Callaway got in trouble, but I did. I had to stay after school. I don't remember what it was for, nothing major. If I know me, I was late for a class, or, I didn't raise my hand to speak or some kind of thing like that. I was always in a little mischief trouble. I was never much in any big trouble. So anyway, I had to explain why I go to detention in 8th grade, right? So I go to detention, and the teacher that was running the detention is called Mr. Cicerelli. Great guy. He was always, what do you want to call it? I think he got along with everybody. He was just one of those kind of guys, right? But he also upheld the rules and standards. So even though he was a great guy, he didn't let us get away with stuff as a rule. So anyway, off to detention. Guess what I did in detention? I got in trouble in detention for talking. I got caught talking. You're supposed to keep quiet in detention, do homework and stuff. Nope, not me. I'm flapping my gums. So Mr. Cicerelli knew that I pretty much was only in school for football, even at that age. I wanted to play football. I played football, football all the time. You know how kids are, right? They get stuck on something. Well, I was stuck pretty much for most of my young life on football. Well, even in the midlife, actually. So anyway, to go on with the story, I got in trouble. Mr. Cicerelli said, "Steve, here's what you want to play football this week. This week. Oh, I do." He said, "Well, here's what you got to do. You got to bring to me tomorrow morning and put it on my desk this. You got to write this 500 times. You got to have it neatly spelled, properly spelled, neatly written, and double spaced on regular sheets of paper. You cannot write on the back of the paper. It's got to be only on the front. And the pages all have to be in pristine condition. It has to be, they have to be flat, nice, and unrumpled in any way. Okay, so I got to have 500 times. You got to write this thing right here. And this is what it was. This was in 8th grade. You know how long ago that was? I still remember it. Light is an electromagnetic vibration of a discrete corpuscular nature traveling through a hypothetical medium known as ether. I had to write that 500 times. Years later, he came to an event at my mother's restaurant, and he said to me, "Steve, I always meant to apologize for you about that, because that really is not a description of light in general. It's more of it's a better description of an incandescent light bulb." So I said, "So you had me memorize something that isn't even really accurate?" He said, "Yeah, that's why I'm apologizing." So like I said, he was tough but fair. At least he admitted his slight error in what he wrote there. But it stuck with me the rest of my life, and it wasn't too far off. I kind of eventually figured out it was an incandescent light bulb anyway, so no harm, no foul. Let's go back to Angelina. It's a man's world. We hear it, we listen to it, and after you hear Angelina sing it, you're never going to hear anybody else sing it again. You won't be able to hear them sing it, because her version will pop into your head. You'll be expecting the next note that Angelina sings. It won't be the same. And same thing now if you go back and listen to any of the... well, James Brown is the one that sang this mostly. And he had his own style, man. Nobody could dance like that guy. Angelina doesn't have to dance. She uses her voice. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those, to be honest. But anyway, this is going to go right into classic files, classic diamond file, diamond classic rather. I hope you guys will enjoy it. And hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my little story. And we will see you on the next video. You guys have a good night now. Bye-bye.